It's very interesting. I've been moving music from one catalog to another. I mean, from one distribution to another, and it's actually a very it's not like it's a complicated process, but I think they make it complicated when they should not. So I'm moving my catalog from not all my catalog for now. I've just moved Sumia's 3 solo albums from CD Baby to TuneCore, and I find the process complicated for nothing. Thanks, Ivan. I find the process complicated for nothing. So let me tell you how it is, and then let me tell you how I think it should be. So you arrive, and let's say you have an album with 15 songs. So you have to re-upload all your audio, and then enter all the information about the songs, the writers, etc., the metadata. But that metadata has to be exactly the same in the new release you're doing as the release of before. Of course, the ISRCs, which are unique identifiers for songs, so that the platform can see that this single or this album that you are re-releasing is not is a copy of something they have already, so they can then link both of them together, and so that after that, when everything is linked and that the platform merge the 2 copies, then you can delete the old one from your old distribution. So that's how you move from one distribution to another. And to me, in the age of AI, in the age of we can type something and these computers can draw architecture, give you ideas, write songs for you, write you contracts, solve questions for you, translate things in any language, give you the history of anything. And to move a song, Maison La Lopa, hi sister, and to move a song from one distribution to another, you have to go through a crazy archaic process where they ask you to upload exactly the same audio. So, okay, if you have your masters, it's good. But then they ask you to put exactly the same names of the songs. So even if there's a mistake, they will tell you, no, it has to be exactly the same. And then you will correct it after, once we're done. And you're like, why? Why can't you just tell, let's say let's say you're on CD Baby. You go to TuneCore, and you just go to TuneCore and you tell them, all right, this is my album. This is the link on Spotify, Apple Music, etc., all the platforms. I want you to tell all the platforms that from now on, instead of them paying this account on CD Baby, now they connect it to this new account on TuneCore or Lender or DistroKid or whatever. Why can't we just do this in 2025? You have to go re-upload, refine your masters, etc. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense to me. You should be able to just give them the links, give them enough information, and they deal with themselves. Why do I have to re-upload when it's there already? just unlink from one distribution, relink to another one. That's it. And then your distribution recuperates all the information from whatever platform they want, from Spotify, from Apple Music, that boom, they recuperate all the metadata, they recuperate everything, and that's done. And you linked. This should be something that all these distributions who are taking a percentage of our money for being the interface between us and the platforms, they should work on that to make our life easier. And listen, it's stressful. It's stressful because there's not even a way to tell the platforms, hey, I'm re-uploading this album, but this is not, I'm not flooding the platform, etc. There's no, it's there. It has to be an automated process. Listen, it's very obscure, and it's way more obscure than it should be, bro. It makes no sense. Double XL, what up, my brother? And listen, this brings me to something that I've seen in the news, is that Universal is actually buying a lot of the pieces that permits us independent artists to be out of the labels, the big labels. We use distributions like CD Baby, publishing platforms to create our own publishing and to administer our own publishing, like Song Trust, to do all the machinery, the oiling between all these things, like with stuff like Fuga and Downtown Publishing. And these guys at Universal, they bought all these people. And why do they do this? Because the independent music, so the people that used to cry and to do everything so they could be signed to a major label, are now realizing that they don't need labels anymore. You can record your music at home, mix it at home, sound as good as whatever big studio is proposing, and then upload it using SoundCloud, CD Baby, etc., DistroKid, Believe, TuneCore, Amuse, whatever distribution you want. And then you don't need a label, because instead of having somebody making 90% of the money and paying you 10%, you can make 90% of the money yourself. So a lot of people are starting to realize that, yeah, listen, being an independent artist in this landscape is not bad at all. You can make $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, depending on the size of your following. And you know, you don't have somebody, you don't have a radio that is telling you that they will not play your song or not. Because listen, where we come from back in the days, you had isn't UMJ buying DistroKid? No, not yet. No. They bought Downtown, and Downtown owns Fuga, CD Baby, Song Trust, and a bunch of other things. But what they're doing with DistroKid, Believe, TuneCore is they are doing lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, trying to hit them financially. They're kind of bullying everybody, pretending that there's copyright infringement everywhere. That's what they do, because they are trying to kill independent music by saying, yeah, listen, you can be independent, but if we own the independent music, which is 60% of the music now. So if they can own some of that, now all of a sudden, all the money that is leaving them is coming back to them. So let me tell you about that's true, ALC. I understand what you're saying. But the issue here is that you can make sure that you're the owner by just uploading all your masters. And then they do the rest. You see what I mean? When I was uploading Sumia's album, I realized that back in the days when we uploaded the albums, right? We had on CD Baby back in the days, 2004, you could not upload the music. Internet was way too slow. What you had to do, you had to send your CDs to the US by the mail, by the post office. They would receive everything, and then you would tell them all the information. And so let's say I had a Kaysha featuring Marcia song. I had to put it in the title, Kaysha featuring Marcia, and the name of the song. Now everything is so different because you have a lot of metadata now. You have like Kaysha, main artist, Marcia, second main artist or featured artist, then title, then the writers, then a lot of information on every song now that you put. That back in the day didn't exist. So when they tell you, you have to put us the exact information that is in the first one, in the second one. When you upload the second one, they tell you, yeah, there's a ton of things missing. For example, back in the days, as a writer, you could put Kaysha. So all my old albums, it's just written Kaysha. Now you have to put your real name. It has to be Edward McCullough. So now I put my real name now, and they tell me, oh, the metadata is wrong because on the old one it was Kaysha. I say, yeah, but you can't do this anymore, guys. Hello. So these type of little issues. But listen, all 3 albums of Sumia are now live and everything went smooth. But it was an interesting learning experience when I said to myself, yo, this could be so much simple.